If you've been using one of these, I might be able to get you off the struggle bus with one of these. The Onyx Boox Max 2 today. Hey everybody, I'm KL Brady and welcome back to Writer Gadgets and Workflow. I'm sorry it has been so long since my last visit with you guys, but the 9 to 5 has been kicking the tuchus, okay? And so I really have a lot of really good thoughts to share today, in addition to talking to you guys about the Onyx Boox Max 2. Okay, in the last episode, I know what I did was the Remarkable 2, right? The true digital paper solution for writers, okay? But today what I'm going to show you is in terms of document management, right? PDF management, manuscripts, if you're students and you have to have your textbooks on PDF and you can't print them out, and it's hard to use on, whatever reader you have or whatever, probably doesn't have some of the functionality that I'm going to show you today. This is what the Onyx Boox Max is all about. Love, 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 love my Remarkable 2. Love it, love it, love it. But what I realized is that, it was great. I got to give a shout out to Steven, who left this comment, because I hear it all the time and I defend it all the time. I'll be in the Onyx Boox Max group, and there's always people there who hate the Remarkable 2 and say, go out and buy the Boox Max or the Boox Note, okay? And then there are disgruntled Boox Max users and books users who will say, don't waste your money on the books. Get the iPad. Just don't even bother with that. The Remarkable is not good enough, and the books is not good enough. You need the iPad Pro or whatever. And what I say to all of those people is, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. Here's the thing. If you give advice, but you do not understand that person's needs and that person's requirements, if you have not asked that question before you recommend some other tool, then you are doing that person a disservice. Cutting down a tool based on your own personal requirements, because it may be better for you and what you need, but it may not be better for that other person and what they need. Maybe what they need is the RM2. Maybe what they need is the iPad. Maybe what they need is something like the Onyx Boox Max 2 or the Boox Max 3 or whatever. But if you don't take the time to ask, hey, what is your primary reason for wanting this kind of solution? What is the primary purpose? What is the task you're trying to achieve? What is the goal you're trying to accomplish? If you don't ask that question first before you start recommending a tool, you're wrong. Wrong. Ask first. And then once you hear what their requirements are, then make a recommendation. What I really want you guys to walk away from this video understanding is that there's a big difference between these tools and what the purposes are, in addition to price, because there's a big price difference, but there's use differences. There's different use cases for each user. And based on that use case, one tool may be better for you than another. Okay, So I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to get into the Boox Max in a minute, but I got to clear this up, okay? So again, shout out to Steven, because we had this discussion in the comments. If you haven't looked at it, look at the comments, because he got it right. Okay? The Remarkable 2 is truly digital paper, okay? This is meant to be a notebook for writing. It is for writers. It is to help writers get their thoughts down. It is for writers to keep their thoughts organized. It is literally supposed to be used in place of a notebook, okay? Yes, it does have PDF reading capabilities in it. But let me tell you something. When they made this screen with the scritch, and when they made this pen, and when they made it compact and, easy to carry and easy to pull up and use to write notes, they didn't do that because the primary use is for PDFs. No, they did it because the primary use is for writing, okay? The whole purpose of this is to eliminate distractions and to give you an unending source of paper to write and an unending source of ways to organize your writing. That's it. That's what this is supposed to do, and it does a freaking good job at it. Now, if you bought the Remarkable 2 and you wanted to play an app on it, if you wanted to access Facebook on this and then you're mad because it doesn't access Facebook, it's not supposed to. It is to restrict your access to everything except the ability to write and get your ideas down. Whole purpose, okay? Now, on the opposite end of that spectrum is the iPad. The iPad is tablet, borderline computer, right? So what is the whole purpose of the iPad? The whole purpose of the iPad is the exact opposite purpose of the Remarkable. The Remarkable restricts access to everything, whereas the purpose of the iPad is to give you access to literally everything, to combine your everything, your whole world of electronics into one place that is easy to get to everything. You're meant to get everything here. You're meant to, but guess what? In addition to getting everything, and you get access to all your apps, you get access to all your reminders and your calendar and your notes and your email and your social network. And you can do your productivity work with your Microsoft Word, and you can do everything on here. But guess what you also get? You get distractions. The exact opposite of what this is for. Okay. So if somebody says to you, what I really need to do is sit down and write and focus on getting my chapters written, and I have attention deficit and I can't focus, so I need something. And if that person needs to do that and you say, oh, you know what you need? You need the Apple iPad Pro. Well, you have just done a disservice to that person. That's why you got to listen. Make sure you know. Now, yes, does the Apple iPad have the digital paper capabilities? Absolutely. It has the capabilities in here in addition to all the other stuff. But the whole purpose of it is to give you access to everything, and then you kind of just got to pray that you can, distill all your thoughts and focus on the one thing that you're supposed to be focused on. The last thing is the Boox Max. Now, you say, Carla, well, what do you need that for if you got one end or the other? Now, here's the thing with this, right? This is kind of, so the Remarkable is digital paper. And the iPad is more of a tablet leaning towards a computer. the Boox Max is more of a digital paper leaning towards a tablet. It's right in the middle. And is that the real magic of the Boox Max 2 is its PDF document management capabilities. If I've highlighted something on page 55, and I don't want to have to sit here and flip to page 55 to find what I want. I want to be able to get straight to it fast. The professor asked me a question, or if I've got to go back and make an edit, and I know I got to change something on page 55, do I want to flip through 1 through 54 to get there? No. And see, that's what it allows you to quickly maneuver around documents that you have annotated. You can apply bookmarks that are like tabs that quickly help you move through the document to get to the things that you need to see rather than having to flip page by page by page by page. Honestly, to me, if you do this, and I used to do this, every time I had a manuscript, after it was finished, I would print out a copy, I would put it in the document. Into the loose leaf notebook. I would take stickies, Post-it notes, and page by page, some pages were fine, obviously, but the pages where I had edits, I would usually put a sticky on there. I would make notes. I would scratch notes on the document and stuff. Instead of having to do that, this is what you have the Boox Max for. So that, to me, is the magic of the Boox Max, right? Now, the problem with this is that it also gives you access to some apps that could potentially be distracting for you, right? So like I said, it's borderline tablet. But I can ignore those features, and I can really just focus on the ones that I need for my workflow. So that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? So we're going to talk about the features of the Boox Max 2 that are going to be super useful for your workflow, including and especially the document manipulation properties, or whatever you want to call that. I don't know what we love about the Boox Max 2. Okay, the first thing I think should be pretty obvious. It is the size. This thing is ginormous, and I bought it for that reason. Glasses, blind, me, need, honestly, even if the Remarkable 2 had all the properties, I probably still wouldn't use it for what I need it for because it is so small. And it's just tough on my eyes after a while. When you start out and you're an hour in, the Remarkable 2 is fine, right? When you're like 6 hours in a day and your eyes are tired and you're tired and you're like, really? I gotta look at another freaking page? Let me tell you something. It's a much happier day when you're looking at it on something the size of a regular sheet of paper, which is what this does, right? As opposed to looking at it on a 10-inch screen. Makes all the difference in the world if you have to do this all day, every day, which I do. Literally 7 days a week, I am reviewing documents. If I'm not reviewing RFPs at work, I am reviewing manuscripts on the weekend, okay? So, the size of this, literally the size of 13.3-inch screen, 32 gigs of storage space. You're going to see in a little bit. I think I'm using 8 gigs right now. And I've got a lot of stuff on here. Some stuff I probably need to delete. But I have a whole lot of stuff on here, and it's just a little fraction of what, there's a lot of documents and there's a lot of apps on here, frankly, that I don't even use that are taking up space, So what I will say is there's plenty of room, plenty of storage on these babies to keep whatever you need, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing, the e-ink, right? Obviously, the e-ink is easy on the eyes. pretty easy to turn on. There's a button at the bottom. It turns on pretty quickly, but you could probably see, yeah. The e-ink screen is great. There's no blue light. There's no glare. This is very, very easy on the eyes, you know, especially if you're in a lit room. Number 3, the document function. The document function, out of this world. You're going to see how that works in a little bit. Again, it's not even a super lot of functions, but they are the right functions, and that is the key, okay? 4. This thing actually provides you with quite a few tools that is really good for writers in your workflow, okay? The first thing it does, it provides a writing function, a digital paper function that's similar to the Remarkable 2, right? We love that, okay? The second thing it provides you is actually voice dictation. I have a little, voice recorder that I use for work when I have to interview people, to get subject matter experts to get information. But I could, if I had this and I had no little voice recorder, I could use this, and I will show you that in a little bit. So that's a highly useful function on here, and because there's 30 gigs of space, you could probably record something pretty long and not even put a dent into your storage on this thing. So yes, and it's built in. Well, I have something else to say about that, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. The other thing, so it has that capability, but it also has the dictation capability, where you can dictate and it will type your words out as you're talking. Also very useful. I have more to talk about that in a minute, but you'll see, at least I'm going to attempt for you to see how that works in a couple minutes, okay? And then the other thing, and Boox Max users use this, I do not, but a lot of Boox Max users use this as a monitor. You can actually, it actually has a way that you can hook this up. I think there's an HDMI or something that hooks a connector. You can put a dongle in here that can connect to an HDMI, and that can be hooked up, and you can use this as a monitor, either landscape or portrait. So there's another thing. If you don't like blue light and strain your eyes, this is dual purposed for that. And you can use this as a monitor. So those are the great things about the Boox Max 2. At least for me and from a writer perspective. Now again, you can get ebooks on here. You can play music on here. You can do a lot of stuff. There's Bluetooth connection on here. There's a lot of other stuff on here. But I'm talking about in terms of writing workflow. Those are all great things. The other thing that you can do is you can connect Bluetooth to here. So you can use a Bluetooth keyboard, and you can use that for typing, or you can connect headphones via Bluetooth, and you can actually listen to music through here. Again, can't do that through, you could do that through your iPad, but you can't do that in your Remarkable. So digital paper that has those kinds of functions, like I said, it's like part digital paper, part tablet, because you get a lot of functions that you wouldn't normally get in like a seriously, strictly digital paper product. Okay. What we don't like so much about the Remarkable. Number 1, this sucker is glitchy as I don't know what. Honest to goodness, let me keep it real, guys. This has some great functions. I will not lie. And I use it all the time because it does have such great functions. But every time I use this, I am reminded of why I love Apple products so incredibly much. This is an Android product. And I have to tell you, I don't know if it's because it's Android. I don't know what. But what I'm telling you is, it is glitchy as all get out. And you'll see, and now I say this, it took me like 2 to 3 hours to kind of get it to stop being glitchy so that I could at least do this demo. Like I had to walk through everything and like warm it up in hopes that I can get through the demo. It's glitchy. It's seriously glitchy. So that's the one thing. That's the first problem that I have with the Boox Max 2 is it is glitchy. And I'm chalking that up to Android, but you know, Android, don't get mad at me. It's not my thing. Hey, I don't have these problems with Apple products. Sorry. I want not to have it with this because I own this. You understand that, right? I own this and I want it to work perfectly, but it doesn't. It's Max 2. Problem number 2 is organization. The Remarkable will spoil you for organization. Truthfully, this makes it hard. I mean, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's impossible. What I'm saying is, it's not intuitive and it's not easy. And if I have to sit and take a half a day out of my schedule, instead of writing words, try to figure out how to make this thing, you know, use this thing so it can keep things organized where I need to keep them organized, I've already lost. The number 3 thing that I am not crazy about with this Boox Max is the Wi-Fi. Every time I turn this thing on, like most of my products, when I turn them on, the Wi-Fi automatically starts. And I don't have to worry when I go in to use an app or something like that. I don't have to worry about connecting. Not only do I have to connect, but it's never easy. It's never easy. It's always hard. I'm going to tell you, it's so frustrating. Honestly, sometimes it takes me like 15, 20 minutes. I don't have 15, 20 minutes to lose trying to connect to Wi-Fi. It's a pain. But that happens. So most of the time what I do is avoid doing things that require Wi-Fi. Most of the time when I transfer documents and stuff onto this thing, I will use the USB cord and just forego the whole Wi-Fi connection. Thing number 4 that I'm not crazy about with this, right, is with the Remarkable, I have that wonderful cloud app. I can go in that cloud app. I can see anything that's on the document at any time. I don't have to be connected to, this doesn't have to be, you know, the Remarkable doesn't have to be connected to the computer. I don't have to have a USB connection. Anywhere I am on any device, on any of my Apple devices, access on my phone, on the iPad, on my computer, on my laptop, on my iMac. I can get the same app everywhere, same documents everywhere. If I load a document in from any of those devices, it's going to magically appear into my Remarkable without me ever having to connect a device. That is not so with this. Nope. Not only does the interface like not allow you to like get direct access to it, like you'll see in a minute, like the homepage. Like the homepage on the Remarkable, I can pretty much get access to anything. The homepage on this is not so. And then, of course, there's the cloud connectivity problem, right? This allows you to like connect to like Dropbox and things like that, but it's not easy. And then you don't get to see your whole device and everything that's on it through Dropbox. So, yeah. And then the number 5 thing that drives me insane about the Boox Max, of course, is there's no front light, as there's not on the Remarkable 2. So I have to use the same book light that I use for the Remarkable 2, I use for the Boox Max, right? Same one, because it's e-ink. There's no front light, so you need light when it's dark. And I'm a night writer, night reader, night editor. So, you know, I need light, okay? But, again, this has great features, which you will see in just a moment, okay?